Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Daniela, and if you're new here, I make upcycling videos and also some basic tutorials for sewing. In this video, we will be seeing how to attach invisible zip. So there are some steps which you need to follow to make the invisible zip actually invisible. In this video, we will be seeing invisible zip, but there are two types of zip. One which is not invisible, it looks like this, and the other one is actually invisible, which is this one. You can see that there is a difference in the width of the teeth. There are other zips as well, which are metallic zips, the one which you attach in jeans or jackets, but those we will cover later. For now, let's concentrate on the invisible zip. So regardless which zip you are using, it should always be hidden. For example, in this kurti, we are using the normal zip. Okay, so this is how the kurti looks from the back. There is an invisible zip, but you can't see the zip because there is a flap. Okay, which is also called as cover. So it is covering the zip. So the zip is not visible. While attaching the invisible zip, you do not need to have the cover or the flap, because while stitching we have to make sure that it will not be visible. So this is a dress that I stitched long back, and this is the back part of it, and you can see that the zip is not visible. Only the tip of the zip is visible. You can see. There are some steps which you need to follow so that the invisible zip is actually invisible. So we will see all of those steps in this video. Before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more video. And now, without any further delay, let's get into the video. Okay, so for this tutorial, we will be using white cloth, and on that we will be attaching this black zip. Okay, but in reality, when you are stitching the zip should match the color of your fabric. Just for the demonstration purposes, I'm using this black color zip. Okay, now to attach the invisible zip, you need foots, okay, presser foots. So I have these presser foots. The one which I use the most is this one. Okay, we have a similar foot like this, which is this one, but this is for the wider teeth. Okay, you can see the difference. Okay, this is for the invisible zip and this is for the wider teeth, which is for the normal zip. Okay, so we will be using this one. Most of the times I use this one. If you have a sewing machine that doesn't have the width adjustment dialer, then in that case you should be using this one. Okay, but there are others as well which look like this. Okay, similarly, so this is for one side and this is for the other side, and you have this one as well. Okay, these can only be used if you have the width adjustment dial in your sewing machine, but if you don't have it, this works the best. I have been using this and this works really best. So make sure you buy it. I will add the link of this foot in the description box below. Okay, so the first things first, you need to iron your fabric. Okay, it should not be wrinkled, it should be ironed. So make sure you iron your fabric. Once that is done, you have to open your zip and iron that also a little. Don't iron it a lot. You have to switch off your iron and then just open these teeth a little. Okay, you have to open them a little bit and iron them. Okay, so you can see how am I doing it. Here are the teeth. Okay, and I'm just going to take it and wear only once. Okay, just lightly. If you do it a lot, then they will curl. The zip will curl up, which you don't want. So very lightly you have to iron your zip. Okay, that's it. Okay, so these are your right sides. I'll just write it. This is my right side, this is my right side, and this is your zip. You can see this is the right side of the zip and this is the wrong side. Wherever the teeth are, if the teeth are visible, that means this is the wrong side and this is the right side. So I will be keeping it like this. Okay. This is the right side of your zip. Okay, and I will open it. Okay, this is still the right side, and what I will do is I will twist it, turn it, and keep the right side. This was the right side, right? I will make sure that the right side is facing the right side. Okay, like this. I will remove the other side. So this is the one, and pin it. Okay, pin these pieces. And now you need to decide till what point do you want your zip. Okay, now I want my zip to be stitched till this point. So I'm going to just mark it here. Also on the other side I will mark it. Okay, and then I will open it. Pin it till that point. Okay, now on the other side. Okay, this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. Now I will just turn it and keep it on the right side. Okay, now also on the other side I have to do the same thing. So this is the right side of the zip, right? So I will turn it and keep the right sides facing the fabric. Okay, so right side is facing the fabric and I will go ahead and pin it. Okay, so once you have done it, it will look like this. Okay, so before you take it to the sewing machine, always make sure that you zip a little bit, so it will look like this basically. So just to make sure that you have stitched the right sides or pinned the right sides with the right sides. Okay, so this is fine. So I'm just going to open it. Now when you will stitch it, okay, the first stitch should be at the corners. Okay, so it should be at the corners, and the second one will be here, which is very close to the teeth. Okay, but I will show you. First we will do the stitch here. Go ahead and do the stitching at the very corners. Okay, so you can see I have done the stitching at the very corners. Okay, you have to do the same thing on both the sides. And once you have done it, also I have done it only till the point which I had marked. Okay, on both the sides. You can't stitch one side till this length and the other side till the other length. They both should be equal. Okay, before you go ahead and do the stitching here at the very end of the teeth, what you have to do is you have to close the zip and see if it is correct. Right now the zip is clearly visible because we have not done the stitching yet. So what we will do is now open the zip. We will be using this foot which we have for invisible zip, and then we will do the stitching here, which is at the very corners. Okay, you have to do the stitching at the very close to the teeth. Okay, these are the teeth and you have to do the stitching very close to it. Okay, So I will go ahead and remove the zigzag footer and attach this invisible zip footer. Now when I'll keep the fabric underneath the footer, you know there were two teeth here. You have to make sure that you're keeping it like this. Okay? I'll give you a closer view of it. And then what you have to do is open the teeth a little while you go on stitching and stitch it, okay? But make sure that you put your presser foot down to make sure that it is not touching the teeth. It should not touch the teeth, because if you sew over the teeth, then you won't be able to close the zip. Okay? So it is not touching the teeth, so I can go ahead and stitch it. I have stitched it on one side. I have to do the same thing on the other side as well. Okay? So just to show you guys, this is how the foot looks like. And on the other side, you can see there is a divider and there is this gap. Okay? In this gap, you have to fit your teeth. So the teeth of the zip should be in either one of these two gaps. Okay? That's how you have to stitch. So I'll show you that. So you can see how I have kept the zip. These are the teeth of my zip and they are under this one gap. There is another gap also on the other side, but I have kept it under this one. Also, when you will be stitching it, you have to move your teeth like this. So you will create a gap for the stitch to go. Okay? So you can see I have stitched it at the very corner. You have to also stitch it at the very corner. So once you have stitched it, I will show you where I have done these stitching. You can see it's at the very corner, very close to the teeth. Okay, very close to the teeth. I will show you the other side as well. Very close to the teeth. Okay, and I told you not to stitch over the teeth. Here I have done that mistake. You can see I have stitched it over the teeth. I'll show you what happens if you do that. You won't be able to close the zip. Okay, so now we will go ahead and close the zip. You can see the zip is not visible. Okay, and now I'm trying to pull this zip, but I can't do that because here I have stitched over the teeth. Okay, so that's why you should not do that. So you can see how the zip looks. If you stretch it, your zip will be a little bit visible. You can see, I can see a little bit black here. But that's the reason why you should use the same color zip. In that case, it will not be that visible, or it will not be that obvious that there is a zip. Okay? Now we are still not done here because you still need to connect these bottom parts. So how do we do that? Is go on this side, on the wrong side, and then you will keep the fabric like this. Okay. Like this, and then you have to do the stitching from this end. Okay, you have to do the stitching from this point till the end of the point. Okay, and then I'll show you how it looks like. So you can see this is how it looks once it is done. Okay, also on the bottom you just have to iron it, and then this is how it looks on the other side when I told you to stitch. This is how I have stitched it. You can see. So yeah. Okay, this is one of my cousin's dress which she gave me, and it is quite an expensive dress. And if you see, there is an invisible zip. Okay, also there is another dress which I have, which also has invisible zip. So you can see how it looks like. Okay, but here too, if I stretch it a little, the zip will be visible. But just because the zip color is same as of the fabric, you can't see it. Okay, similarly here as well, if I stretch it, the zip would be visible. So I'll stretch it. You can see a little bit of zip is visible, but it's the same color as that of the fabric, so you can't see it. So that's it. This is how you have to attach the zip. So you can see this is how my fabric looks like after attaching the zip and after attaching the bottom part as well. Okay, I just need to iron it and then it will look exactly same as this one.